Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. The topic of today's video, as you have already read the title, is how to deal with laziness. In my previous video, we have seen how to make a new habit. But laziness is such a habit that keeps us postponing any work we have to do. So how to deal with this laziness? Let's find out. You have heard it right. Laziness is not a mental health problem. It's a habit. Let's see how we create this habit. Okay friends, so the reasons for laziness may be depression, anxiety, high expectations, messy environment, and most of the time, fear of failure, fear of getting success, fear of taking responsibilities. Friends, remember, chasing a dream that doesn't belong to you, or chasing money, chasing people, chasing outer beauty, this all lead you to become lazy day by day. Now it is the time to change all those habits and make a new journey. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So our first point is manage your morning habits. Let's admit that waking up early in the morning is really a hard task for a lazy person. But if you wake up really late, then you must delete this habit. Now, I will not say you to wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m. Rather, you can try waking up 15 minutes before your usual time. And if you can stick to this, then after a couple of days or even after a month, you will be waking up earlier than your usual time. After you wake up, look around the nature, that is the blue sky or green trees. This make you feel a swell of gratitude. Do some exercise. Now you must be like, are you kidding me? I hate exercising. I'm a lazy person. But friends, I'm not saying you to start with a hardcore exercise. Rather start with a stretching every day. Easy, right? Now what about breakfast? We are hungry. So make it yourself, and in this way you will start your morning with positivity and productivity. There is a detailed information about how to start your day with a good manner. I have not mentioned a single word about your phone. You have to commit back to later, but not in the morning. In the morning, you say to your phone, see you later. Our second point is avoid distraction. You may be thinking that I'm going to say that do not use technology like phone and computer, but let me ask you, do technology really distract you? Because until and unless you make technology your master, they simply cannot control you. The thing is that we become good at work we practice over and over again, and that is why we are good at distraction. So the question is that how you can control it. For me, the best way is to hand over my distracting thing to my mother. Now, I don't need to explain how this trick is gonna work. She will not give me my thing until I'm done with my work. This is not possible for someone who lives alone. So for them, turn off all your notifications, put phone on DND, install apps which will block your distracting app notifications, for example Forest, or you can download any app you want. There is a simple way you can get rid of your distracting apps. Just uninstall the apps distract you and reinstall them as per your requirement. Our next point is take a small step. Have you ever asked yourself that why do we put our tasks down for later? That is because we make it too big or too overwhelming to start. Use Pomodoro technique, that is break down your task into smaller stages of 25 minutes and then take 5 minutes of break. But in this 5 minutes, drink water, do some stretching, but stay away from the things that distract you. And most importantly, do not leave the place where you are working. Because once you get up, you are most likely to not come back before spending a good amount of time. Our next point is control your brain. In this tip, I want to share a story. So, in Second World War, wounded American soldiers were treating with morphine to cure their pain. But the number of victims were so huge that they ran out of pain-killing morphine. Then an American doctor, Henry Beecher, decided to give some victims saline instead of morphine. But he did not tell those victims that they were given saline instead of morphine. Surprisingly, half of the soldiers reported that their pain was gone. This is called placebo effect. It was the thought of the soldiers which affected their brain, and that is why they reported such thing. This story teaches us that what we think in our brain impacts our body and action. So negative self-talk, negative thought, this will all lead you to be more and more lazy. You want to know how? Follow our next point. So, our next point is self talk. Nothing and no one can take away my happiness if I learn how to talk to myself. Negative self talk like I am sad, I cannot do this work. Repeating these words will become your reality. You have to be very careful that you are not reciting any low energy mantra because everything impacts your brain and this thought make your brain tired. If your brain is tired, you cannot start anything but the habit of putting things down for later. You have to feed your brain with positive self talk. Recite this verse as a positive self talk. I will fly by Persian Sufi poet Jalaluddin Rumi. I will fly. I am born with potential. I am born with goodness and trust. I am born with ideas and dreams. I am born with greatness. I am born with confidence. I am born with wings. So I am not meant for crawling. I have wings. I will fly. I will fly and fly. How can we forget about reading and writing? You have to feed your brain with knowledge. Leaders are readers. Mark Twain once said that the secret of getting ahead is getting started. But starting this habit is really difficult. So the question is how to start. Here you can employ 2 minutes mantra. I have already mentioned this topic in my previous video. The idea is just simple. Start reading anything for 2 minutes. If you don't want to continue, stop in these 2 minutes. Then again start reading for 2 minutes. If you're still feeling bored, then start writing. Write anything on any topic, your family members, pet, trees, on yourself, anything. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, write your dreams down on a piece of paper. That page may be a very important page in the book of human history. You will be remembered for creating that one page in the history of nation. Whether that page is the page of invention, the page of innovation, or the page of discovery, or the page of creating social change, or the page of removing poverty, or the page of finding new technologies for humankind. Reading and writing is such a habit that can eliminate anything that is holding you back. So, this point is must for every day. Last but not the least, our tip number 7, last minutes before going to sleep. Power off all your gadgets and keep your phone far away from your approach. Take a diary and write down your accomplishments. Track your activities this way every night and don't forget to track how much time you have given to your distracting things. Then go to sleep without thinking that you have to complete any heavy task in the next morning. Remember, changing a habit is the only thing for which we are not dependent on anything. Habit is the only thing that can be changed easily as there is no interference of others. Everything else is outside. So, what we can change? The behavior of laziness. At the end, I just want to say when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. That is pretty much it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Until then, goodbye.